Hello, welcome back to the Gunship. Today we're going to be doing Metroid Dread. This time on a hard mode with 0%. What is 0%? This means we're not going to be picking up any energy tanks or missile expansions. Which makes for a significantly more challenging experience. I've already completed the game 0% on normal mode, and it was one of my favorite ways to play the game. As much as I like this opening cutscene, I do wish it was skippable. At least on, repeated playthroughs. That'd be nice if that were an option. Here we get modern interpretations of events that happened in previous games. Namely, Metroid Fusion. The events of Metroid Dread are most closely linked with Metroid 2 for the Game Boy and Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance. And of course, the developers of this game, Mercury Steam, they previously developed a remake of Metroid 2 for the 3DS called Samus Returns, which laid the foundation of gameplay and presentation for Metroid Dread. Apparently, Mercury Steam first approached Nintendo because they wanted to do a Fusion remake. But Yoshio Sakamoto instead said, hey, why not remake Metroid 2? And honestly, I don't think Fusion even needs a remake to this day. It holds up just fine. Today I'm playing the game with a new controller I just got. It is the 8-Bit Do Pro 2. It is heavily based on the Super Nintendo controller. But it's got these big old grips, which make it a lot more ergonomic. And it also has Hall effect analog sticks, a couple back buttons,
The bounty for this mission does not seem appropriate.
and a wealth of really cool features.
The risk clearly outweighs the reward.
I love the design of Samus's gunship in this game.
Treat our lost assets with care, lady.
Entering the atmosphere in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we are on planet ZDR. Get a bit of a weird time jump here, which I'm not sure was necessary. Sees Samus in an all-new power suit. And when she sees that, she remembers how she got to this point.
That elevator leads to the depths of an underground facility. Signal quality is likely to be low. Remote communication remains difficult. Try to connect to the facility's network when you reach the bottom. That way, they can gain contact. Many objections, lady.
And that is the last time we hear from Adam in the game. Of course, we hear from him much more, but it's not actually Adam. It's this fella. Ravenbeak is, of course, the final boss of this game, and one of my favorite boss fights of all time, if not my overall favorite, honestly. It's amazing. It took me like 40 or 50 tries to beat him in my first playthrough. But like any boss in this game, with enough practice, you can easily defeat him without getting hit. We get a preview of a lot of his moves in this opening cutscene. A lot of the tactics he'll use later. Oh boy. Here we get a first-person view, reminiscent of Metroid Prime. Looks great. Along with some great-looking god rays coming through the ceiling. Here's our first lock. Need the charge beam for that. Much like Metroid 2, we do start out with missiles in the beginning, which is cool.
Uploading data.
So, you've accessed a network station. I've run a full analysis. Whatever caused these changes seems to have stripped you of most abilities. That brings me to your assailant. I have determined that you are somewhere within the depths of ZDR. This planet appears to consist of multiple areas. The ship's location is marked on your global map. You may encounter pockets of low temperature. There are many such cold areas scattered underground. One final thing.
I think that's a pretty good way to deal with those Adam conversations when I'm streaming. Just to, provide the first sentence. It's a little less awkward than just rapidly skipping through it. But I also don't want to sit through all of them because I've already experienced the story quite a few times. One thing I like about the older games, like Super Metroid, is that there are no cutscenes. Yeah. It's pure game. And it really adds to the sense of isolation when you're not speaking to anyone. One thing that adds to the fluidity of combat in this game is the counter. Melee counter. It was first introduced in Mercury Steam's last game, Samus Returns, but is greatly improved upon here. Namely in the fact that you can counter while running, which greatly helps improve the flow of combat and the overall movement. Whereas in Samus Returns, there's this kind of start and stop thing to it, which I'm not a huge fan of. Here's our first missile upgrade, but of course this is 0%, so we're going to be skipping it. There are a couple other missile upgrades throughout the game that are a little harder to skip. You got to do kind of tricky maneuvers to get over them. But most are well out of the way. This game really does have the best controls in the entire series. Yes, you are using an analog stick instead of a D-pad. Just slightly less accurate. But it's still just so much smoother than anything else. A runner-up would be Zero Mission. Metroid Fusion also controls really well, so does Samus Returns. And I love the controls in Super Metroid. I know a lot of people don't. It's quite a learning curve to them. But once you get used to them, they're excellent. And you can do a lot of cool things in that game that you can't do in these other games. It's much more momentum-based with the run button. But overall, Dread takes it for me. Controlling this game is like driving a fast car. Since this is a 0% run, we're definitely going to save wherever we can. But then imagine that 0% on a hard mode is going to feel a lot like Dread mode later on. The lack of energy tanks means that certain enemies will be able to one-shot us. Love the film grain effect of these Emmy zones. Apparently this white Emmy looks a lot like Gladys, I think it's called, from Portal 2. I played about half of the first Portal and it was excellent. This was, 15 years ago or something. I really need to play I need to go through both of them. Very creative games. I'm surprised there isn't a third one yet. It's in a Half-Life situation. Who knows? Slide. Slide. The slide mechanic in this game is so obvious that you wonder why it hasn't been a part of Metroid before. I was just watching someone stream an old Mega Man game and even that had a slide mechanic.
Uploading data.
Both Emmy you encountered were clearly trying to capture you. Emmy send out a pulse to detect vibrations in the air within a certain range. Upon detecting vibrations, an Emmy enters surveillance mode to track their source. An Emmy that has seen you will begin pursuit. To survive, you must leave its range of pursuit. An Emmy never leaves its assigned zone. I estimate a 99% probability of death if an Emmy captures you. small opportunity to escape. The enemy are immune to your current weapons. Your highest priority in an enemy zone should be simply to survive.
So if Super Metroid is guilty of not explaining enough, this game is guilty of explaining too much. Don't get me wrong, I think most of the text tutorials, dialogue-driven tutorials are pretty useful. That goes a little too far at times. Right below us there was a Power Bomb expansion. Power Bomb is one of the last upgrades in the game. I think it's the last one, actually. And yet there are opportunities to pick them up early. This first section of the game is incredibly linear. You can backtrack at certain places, and you do have to backtrack at certain places. And you can pick up items. But for the most part, progression is very straightforward. It's not until you get the Varia suit where the game starts to open up. This controller is great. I usually use the Nintendo Switch Pro controller when playing this game, but this is just as good, if not slightly better. Certainly has a better D-pad for the other 2D Metroid games. The D-pad on the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is absolute garbage. Which is unfortunate. I don't see why they couldn't have just put like a Super Nintendo style D-pad on there. Then it'd be pretty close to perfect. Plenty of time this time. It's still gonna catch us, but it's alright. Get down here, slide down here. First upgrade, the Charge Beam. There are several other games in the series where, well, maybe not several, but there are other games in the series where the Charge Beam is an optional pickup. Here it's mandatory because you need it to open these doors for progression. I always forget how many missiles it takes for that particular enemy. Oops. Combat in this game is overall a little more difficult than the other 2D Metroids. But it also gives you plenty of save points and plenty of energy and missile drops to make up for it. Always fun when the Emmy pops up there. Usually doesn't. Because otherwise this is just a repeat of the first time you enter that room. Another example of backtracking. Cool little environmental detail in the background here. See that invisible looking tail? That's our first boss. We're gonna fight him pretty soon. The infamous room. The Room by Tommy Wiseau. Oh, hi, Samus. So this was the second Metroid game I ever played, after Metroid Prime. Oops. And the first thing I noticed is the abundance of save rooms in this game compared to Prime. In Prime, they're few and far between, especially later on in the game. Here they are numerous. Maybe a little too numerous. This game also utilizes checkpoints at certain times, which I think is a nice addition. But given that you have checkpoints, I do think they could have gone a little... They could have drawn back a little bit on the save points. And the last time I played this was Dread mode, so... I keep expecting to get killed in one hit.
Uploading data.
But not yet. Not with these early game enemies.
There was no record of your assailant in the Federation database. However, there are records of the chosen warrior tribe. You have seen the warrior tribe's architecture and artifacts on this planet. The situation remains unclear. You have activated the magma supply system. Continue to search for the unique energy you employed against the first Emmy. Unfortunately, this energy is limited. There are 6 remaining Emmy hunting you.
The Emmy sections in this game, sometimes people refer to them as stealth sections. Kinda? Not really, though. Better off just running. I mean, sometimes you're hiding, but... They are very reminiscent of the SAX from Metroid Fusion, as well as the Chozodia section at the end of Zero Mission. These little mini-bosses, very reminiscent of Mother Brain. Even with the flaming hot Cheerios that you can shoot. controls for this Omega blaster. A little weird at first. After some time, just fine. And the hitbox on the Emmy for that final shot is pretty big. Pretty hard to miss their heads. Do you think the hitbox being a little smaller could have added a little more tension, but and our second upgrade, the spider magnet. This gives us the abilities to climb those blue walls, which is very fun. Oops. I do that so much. The thing about this game is it's so fast-paced. You're always running. And the developers know that, so sometimes when you enter a new room, you'll just run off the edge. There's another missile upgrade that we just gotta hop over. Whoops. For our first boss, Orpheus. Like every boss in this game, in my first playthrough, gave me a pretty hard time. Then again, I'm not exactly an expert on 2D side-scrollers, this type of combat, and this was my first 2D Metroid game. So I got my butt handed to me quite a bit. To remember about this boss, even when he's invisible, with every shot he just changes his head position up and down, up and down. Even then it's still kind of hard to track at times. Normally you go for that spot on the tail, which triggers a cutscene. But if you keep hitting him in the head, you can kill him that way. I'm gonna go for it here. Actually, no. Might as well do this. He'll be dead soon enough. If I were to guess, in this first counter, you'll be a goner. We'll see. Yep, there he goes. This right here has to be the most badass moment for Samus ever. It's just so cool. Her confidence and her swagger, the way she just takes her time. It's great. because she's been through a lot at this point. This is Metroid 5 in the mainline series. And supposedly this is the end of that main storyline. I hope they're not done making 2D Metroids, because they are my favorite. But if they do, I don't think the next one's going to be called Metroid 6. I think it's going to be a new timeline. And it would be foolish of them to abandon the character of Samus. I don't think that would bode well. Oh, that's right. Not very good at that slide yet. There we go. Speedrunners use that. You know, hitting the slide and the Phantom Cloak button at the same time. I would like to speedrun this game eventually. There's no way I will rank anywhere on Super Metroid ever. Unless I, dedicated tens of thousands of hours. And that's true of any speedrunning game, including this one, but this one I have a bit of a knack, more of a knack for. I think with enough practice, I could do well. Maybe not top 50 in any given category, but... Oh, that's right, I do have to go through here. Wait. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. It's like, how am I going to get past that missile expansion? Yeah, we'll take the high road here. Get us to the same destination. And be on our way to Cataris. These guys. I'm really digging these Hall effect joysticks on this new controller. This is a little different than what I'm used to, so aiming is a little off right now. Sections like this aren't nearly as dangerous on 0% as they are in Dread mode, because pretty low damage on these regular modes, whereas Dread, even a slight contact, you're dead. Yeah, let's go to Cataris. Why not? Not like there's anywhere else to go. It's pretty linear at this point. So instead of the traditional elevators, this game uses cutscenes for loading screens. And it's not quite as seamless. Definitely feels like you're watching a loading screen instead of, whereas in Super Metroid, you're just going down an elevator, you don't even think of the fact that it's a loading screen. Even though it is. I'm gonna take a left here. Take out this guy. Take out this guy. Hello, Adam. I mean, not Adam. Adam Beak.
DVR appears to be powered by thermal energy. Magma is pumped from the planet's interior and routed from there. I have located the central routing system for the magma. Samus, your current suit cannot protect you as you explore Cataris. I know the shuttle somewhere above here. There is one other thing to discuss. The Phantom Cloak prevents the enemy from detecting you. Note that using the Phantom Cloak severely decreases your mobility. The Phantom Cloak is useless once an enemy sees you. The Phantom Cloak can remain active after your aim has been depleted.
Been a lot of criticism toward the music in this game. I can understand why, to a point. I think the problem is less in the compositions and more in instrumentation. It's kind of a weird sound font they used. The YouTuber Nerl said it sounds like a Casio keyboard. I can see where he's coming from. This composition here doesn't feel like it'd be out of place in Super Metroid, but I think it'd sound quite a bit better with that 16-bit sound font. Yeah, it's definitely one of the limitations of Metroid Dread. It's the music. It just isn't quite as epic as what has come before. It doesn't quite create the same kind of quality atmosphere. Hello. Nope, we're gone. You know, at my best, I can usually counter those enemies about 50% of the time. On any given playthrough, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's less than 50. I don't think it's ever been more than 50. It's pretty hard. But whenever it happens, it's just epic. I have to use the old Phantom Cloak here. Maybe not. Good. Redirect this thermal energy flow. Re-enter the enemy zone. The cool thing about the thermal energy is it points you in the right direction in that background there. I did not know this in my first playthrough. But Metroid games definitely reward you by paying attention to your environment, which is cool. So like I mentioned, the first chunk of this game is very linear. But that doesn't mean you can't get kind of redirected. I don't want to call it lost, but it is a labyrinth nonetheless, much like Metroid Fusion. Linear, but it's still a maze. That's definitely not it. Over here. Here. These. Oops. This is an example of a very striking landmark. You're going to remember that, and you're going to remember to return to that once you get the morph ball.
Uploading data.
ME stands for Extraplanetary Multiform Mobile Identifier. Its ability to configure itself to fit into narrow spaces is a standard feature. You are not capable of destroying their armor plating. You are faced with overwhelming power. Study each ME carefully, and use the Phantom Cloak to advance. Do not hesitate to destroy an ME. Whenever you discover more, you need energy.
One good pointer when you're dealing with these ME sections is just knowing where the ME is. It seems obvious, but you know, if you know, it's never going to switch up on you. It'll only switch up if you exit an ME room and re-enter it, then it may spawn in a different place, but if you're there and if you know it's behind you and you know where to go, then you're pretty much good. Love the wall jumping in this game. Don't get me wrong, I do miss the Super Metroid style, which was also partially recreated in Metroid Zero Mission. But this is nice and dynamic. Oh, hi, Kenny. I just saw you there in the chat. How you doing? You said the first run was hell. I'm guessing you've played this at some point? Ooh, that almost took me out. Oop. Okay, now I think it's time to go up here. Yep. Oh, it's Dave. What up, Dave? I got a mic now. I get to talk. Have any good cookies lately? Okay. Caleb helped me set up the mic and everything yesterday. Well, not just the mic, all sorts of other things. He's good with computers, I'm not. Oh. Oh crap. Playing the fire here. And yeah, confusing but fun is a good way to describe Metroid. Half the battle is just figuring out where to go. Oh, you haven't had any good cookies lately? Well, just go into Noodle, man. They'll hook you up. I don't know why you don't like the M&M ones, though. Those are fantastic. Yeah, it's pretty fun trying to get used to speaking while playing. So that first run you saw, that was Dread mode where you get killed in one hit. This is hard mode, but I'm doing 0%, which means I don't have any energy tank expansions. So you see in the top left corner, you know, and no missile expansions either, so I'm stuck with 15 missiles and 99 energy, as opposed to all the pickups you get along the way. So at some point it's pretty much gonna be like Dread mode, except with a lot less missiles. That's a new way to play. Right now it's not as hard as Dread mode, but later on it might be harder. Once the enemies start getting tougher. Oh, jeez. Ah. No! That is my first death of the run. Got him. Oh, wow. Yep, those guys can still one-shot me. Oh, jeez. What am I doing here? Gotta play smarter, not harder. I'm gonna go down here this time. Much safer. Health pickup. Let's kill this guy. Missile pickup. Okay, that wasn't right. I had the spin jump charge boost on that. That should have killed that enemy. Alright, we got it this time. Skip that guy. I'm gonna counter this guy. Come here. Bye. Okay, back up to full health. We good. This particular Emmy is a bit of a pain because he's so fast. The one thing that's cool that I like they put in there is that with every Emmy you defeat, you kind of gain the power that they have. So when we defeat that Emmy, eventually, we'll get the speed booster, which makes us fast. Time to backtrack. Yeah, I've got a pretty good streaming setup now. I am streaming simultaneously to YouTube and Twitch at the moment. Which is the way I'll be doing it going forward. Might eventually stream to TikTok and Kick as well. Because why not? Oh, why am I going this way? The shortcut. Each time you get a new ability, you'll know where to go next because of certain blocks. So in this case, it's the wide beam blocks. You see them, you know you're on the right track. And time for the mini boss. We're good. Oh, you switched to Twitch? Okay. What do you mean by more responsive? Is it, less of a delay? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I imagine Twitch is probably more well suited for live streaming than YouTube. Is there any difference in quality between Twitch and YouTube? Video or audio quality? I mentioned in my Metroid Prime live stream last night that this game holds off on giving you the morph ball compared to other games. Usually you get it right away. Whereas here we're about an hour into the playthrough and we're just now getting it. So it's a nice subversion of expectations. But this is, of course, perhaps Samus's most iconic ability. Just to go up into a ball. Go through tight spaces. Here's another missile expansion, but we can't get it because we're on 0% mode, so I gotta hop over it. Okay, good to know, good to know. I will send people to the Twitch stream in that case. Save real quick. Yeah, a friend of mine pointed out the other day that I seem to like games where the character turns into a ball. You know, this and Sonic and... You know, in fact... I think other games would benefit from that feature. Like, imagine if you're playing The Witcher 3 and Geralt could turn into a ball. It would take a 9 out of 10 game and make it an 11 out of 10 game. Yeah, I don't have a face cam yet either. I'm gonna get one eventually. Do you ever stream games? Dave? Davin? If so, what kind of games? Oh shit. No, 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 no. No, thankfully those guys don't do much damage. If this were Dread mode, I would have been gone right there. Alright. Ah, PUBG. Very cool. It's always cool when you have family members to game with. It's never happened with me except for my siblings back in the day. None of my family play games and none of them play music. It's just sad. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? I am going the wrong way. That's okay. Get back up. Oh no! I accidentally picked up a missile expansion. So now, gotta restart from our last checkpoint. Can't have that going. A Fiza VTuber just joined the chat. Asked how's the stream going, and it's going pretty good. Except for that little minor hiccup. What other games do I stream? Just Metroid games so far. I just started doing commentary yesterday. Got it all set up. I run a channel called The Gunship on YouTube, and then on Twitch it's called The Gunship Live. So it's mainly about Metroid, but I'm also going to be covering other games of the genre, the Metroidvania genre, so games like Hollow Knight, Ori, Axiom Verge, and then even like Metroidvania lights like Jedi Fallen Order, Arkham Asylum, stuff like that. But mostly Metroid, because I'm obsessed with this series. I may have a bit of a problem. Oh yeah, this section. It's always nice and tense. Oops. Check it out. I'm almost dead, I better be careful. Got it. Now it's time to pick up the Varia suit. So far, we've been rocking the power suit, which is the first suit in the game. This one is quite a bit more powerful. Do I stream daily? No. At least not yet. You know, I'm probably gonna stream 2 or 3 times a week just to start out. But who knows? Eventually I might. Yeah, Asylum would be an awesome stream. I've played that game so many times, it's one of my favorites. I'm just a huge Batman fan in general. And it does have a Metroidvania style design. I wouldn't call it an outright Metroidvania, but it is Metroidvania inspired. It has many of the same elements, you know. It's all about finding upgrades and then backtracking to use those upgrades. Whereas the sequels, like Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins, those are more of open world games. But I'd like to stream those too. You know, probably not on this channel because it wouldn't make sense, but maybe eventually I'll get a second gaming channel going where I can just do kind of general stuff. Thank you for the following on Twitch, guys. I appreciate it. I actually know nothing about Twitch. Now that I'm familiarizing myself, it's pretty neat. You know, I'm going to be doing live streams, but my main content are going to be edited videos for the Gunship channel on YouTube. A lot of video essays about this genre. Video I'm working on right now is a beginner's guide for Super Metroid. That game is generally considered to be the gold standard of the Metroidvania genre, right next to Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Hollow Knight. Alright, we got a really cool boss coming up. His name is Craig. No, it's actually Kraid, but I think it's funny when people call him Craig, because, I don't know, it's good. Oh no! I rarely miss that. I missed it twice in a row. That's hilarious. Have I thought about using custom stuff for the channel? What do you mean by that? You learn how to counter in this game, it just makes life so much easier. It's like Sekiro. And normally that enemy would take quite a bit of firepower to take out, but if you time it right with the parry, it's gone. on right away. Same with this. These guys, they always block the boss doors. Just take them out like that. I did another live stream of this game without commentary about a month ago. I did Dread mode. And in that I did a lot of sequence breaking, meaning I went out of my way to get certain items out of order. This one I'm just gonna do, yeah, the intended order. Realizes it's Kraid, who she's fought before. She's just not worried at all. Just like nonchalantly shoots a beam into his mouth, like, it's like, I know what you're about. You ain't shit. Oh god, I gotta remember not to curse. I don't know what the rules are on Twitch. And on YouTube, they'll like, you know, pull monetization or whatever. That's gonna be hard because I love cursing. I'll be a little more careful now because I only have, or I have no energy tanks. Hi, Craig. Craig. That is your name. There we go. So that sequence breaking I was just talking about, if you do that and you get the grapple beam and the bombs early, you can instantly kill him at this point. So you'll see to the left, there's that. Oh. Well, there's that little area that you can bomb with a morph ball bomb, and then you can shoot into his belly and then just instantly kill him if you sequence break. But we don't have the bomb yet in this case, so we'll have to fight him the proper way. Missiles. That's what I love about 0%, man. You run out of missiles way quicker, and you just gotta use the charge beam and kind of scramble to get whatever pickups you can. Also having very limited health. Alright. That's gonna one-shot me now, I know that. Oh! Dang. Okay, okay. I gotta focus here. Those little orbs are powerful. On Dread mode, on my last live stream, I beat him first or second try just because I had that insta-kill method. It's been a while since I've had to fight him in a normal way. gonna hit him with this beam so that way I can take these orbs out a little easier. Dodge that. Dodge that. Dodge this. Above. Sometimes you can parry them while you're up there. Not always. If I'd stayed up there, I would be dead. I get a parry up here. Might be able to kill him. Nope. Random number generator is not on my side today. That's alright. I enjoy this fight. Enjoy all the boss fights in this game. Probably the best boss fights in all of Metroid in this game. Fusion comes close. That's just super. Oh, I almost died there. Now, we should be able to. Oh, wow. Got him. Here's just another great moment by Samus. She's just not worried in this game. That's what I like. About Craig. And these abominable creatures. Fusion beam. Normally I would go up there to get an item expansion, but I gotta go against all muscle memory on these 0% playthroughs. Just gotta keep pressing forward. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stream for about 2 hours tonight. And at 7 o'clock, I'm gotta go to karaoke downtown. Gonna sing some Sinatra. That should be fun.
Uploading data.
This area, Diren, appears to be a biological research laboratory. You are slowly recovering your abilities.
Facts. Well, damn, Twitch really is a lot quicker. I'll say something and then chat will respond almost immediately. Whereas YouTube, it's like 15-second delay. There yet. I do like that creature in the background trying to break through. Don't know who that is or what he's doing, but I haven't got a single Emmy encounter this entire playthrough so far, which it's not characteristic. Usually I would at least have a couple. So fast, look at him. Just on my ass. Oh, you can't go forward here. Turn invisible though. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, go up here. That's right. See that big boy in the background? We're gonna be fighting him much later in the game. We're working on him right now. And come to think of it, why doesn't Samus just blast him at this moment? He already looks kind of dead. A lot of cool environmental details in the background of these games. Oh. This isn't where I'm supposed to go yet. Check our map. Okay, we're supposed to go down below. That's right. Yep. No? Now he knows where I am. Oh, jeez. Supposed to go over there? So, yep, fusion beam. There. No, go away. There we go. Here's my counter. Still not the right place to go, but that's okay. Gotta go to the left. There we go. Above. Counter. Counter. Oh, the pipe thing in the background? Yeah, that was in the earlier zone, and sometimes you can kind of follow that pipe and know where to go. Turn the lights back on. Hit the lights, to quote Metallica. Access to the store. You see those little blue flying things? Sometimes those tell you or give you an indication of where to go as well. They disappear once you touch them. There we go. Got the bomb. This is another classic Metroid ability. It's been around since the very first game back in 1986. And in classic Metroid fashion, it's gonna, you know, you can't escape this unless you use the ability you just acquired. Sealed the exits there. So what you gotta do, carpet bomb, until you reach the point where it works. Normally I would jump up and get that missile expansion, but again, 0%. Whoops. Another cool thing is, in most of the 2D Metroid games, there's what's called infinite bomb jumping, so I'll kind of demonstrate it here. Yeah, so there are certain areas of the game where if you do that, you can do all these cool sequence breaks and get to areas where you're not supposed to be early. Now we gotta go back in the Emmy zone, that's right. I'm not even gonna bother with that guy. What? He shot through the door? What? Alright. Guess I do gotta deal with him. I got him. Alright. Oh no, I need the grapple beam to get back up there. Okay. Well, that's alright. We're going down here. Oh man, now they're doing all these experiments on this guy. He's a problem. Trust me. Save point. Davin, do you remember which Metroid game I think you said your brother was playing one at one point? Guessing one of the older ones. Oh no! I was looking at chat instead of the game. I think I've died like 10 times now. Oh, okay. Is this your older brother or younger brother? I also love retro games. Some of them are quite good. Oh, okay. Oh wow, it's already 6:22. Okay. I'm gonna have to end this stream in a few minutes, so I gotta get ready to go downtown here. It's probably the next save point. This is the water levels. It has water. I do love the atmosphere of this section here. Those waves. It's pretty cool. I just love rain and video games and movies. Actually, I think I didn't get the grapple beam like I should have. So I might just end the stream right here. Yep. Alright. That last save point will suffice for a part 2. And then, yeah, I'll probably do that tonight once I get home. If not, then tomorrow after work. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. This is the Gunship. Catch you later.